February 20th. Numbers 21 and 22. Numbers 21. And the sovereign of Arad, the Canaanite, who dwelt in the south, heard that Yisrael was coming on the way to Atharim. And he fought against Yisrael, and took some of them captive. Then Yisrael made a vow to Yah, and said, If you deliver this people into my hand indeed, then I shall put their cities under the ban. And Yah listened to the voice of Israel, and gave up the Canaanites, and they put them and their cities under the ban. And the name of that place was Hormah. And they departed from Mount Hor by the way of the Sea of Reeds, to go around the land of Edom. But the being of the people grew impatient because of the way. And the people spoke against Elohim and against Moshe. Why have you brought us up out of Mitzrayim to die in the wilderness? For there is no food and no water, and our being loathes this light bread. And Yah sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and many of the people of Israel died. Then the people came to Moshe and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against Yah and against you. Pray to Yah to take away the serpents from us. So Moshe prayed on behalf of the people. And Yah said to Moshe, Make a fiery serpent and set it on a pole, and it shall be that everyone who is bitten, when he looks at it, shall live. So Moshe made a bronze serpent and put it on a pole, and it came to be, if a serpent had bit anyone, when he looked at the bronze serpent, he lived. And the children of Israel set out and camped at Oboth. And they departed from Oboth and camped at Laha-Arib, in the wilderness which is east of Moab, toward sunrise. From there they set out and camped at the Wadi Zered. From there they set out and camped on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that extends from the border of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between the Moabites and the Amorites. Therefore it is said in the book of the battles of Yah, Wahib in Suphah, the Wadi Arnon, and the slope of the wadi that turns aside to the dwelling of Ar, and lies on the border of Moab. And from there on to Beer, which is the well where Yah said to Moshe, Gather the people, and let me give them water. Israel then sang this song, Spring up, O well, sing to it. A well, when the leaders sank, which the nobles of the people dug with their staves, by the word of the inscriber. Then from the wilderness unto Matana, from Matana to Nahaliel, from Nahaliel to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley that is in the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah, which looks down on the wasteland. And Israel sent messengers to Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, saying, Let me pass through your land. We shall not turn off into fields or vineyards. We shall not drink water from wells, but go by the sovereign's highway until we have passed over your border. But Sihon would not allow Israel to pass through his border. So Sihon gathered all his people together and went out against Israel in the wilderness. And he came to Yahatz and fought against Israel. And Israel struck him with the edge of the sword, and took possession of his land from the Arnon to the Yabok, as far as the children of Ammon, for the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all these cities. And Israel dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, and Heshbon, and in all its villages. For Heshbon was a city of Sihon, the sovereign of the Amorites, who had fought against the former sovereign of Moab, and had taken all his land from his hand as far as the Arnon. That is why those who speak in Proverbs say, "Come to Heshbon, let the city of Sihon be built and established." For fire went out from Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon. It consumed Ar of Moab, the masters of the heights of the Arnon. Woe to you, Moab, for you have perished. O people of Chemosh, he has given his sons as fugitives and his daughters into captivity to Sihon, the sovereign of the Amorites. Then we shot them. Heshbon has perished as far as Dibon, and we have laid waste as far as Nophah, which reaches to Medeba. So Israel dwelt in the land of the Amorites. And Moshe sent to spy out Yazer, and they took its villages and drove out the Amorites who were there, and turned and went up by the way to Bashan. And Og, sovereign of Bashan, went out against them, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. And Yah said to Moshe, "Do not fear him, for I have given him into your hand, with all his people and his land. And you shall do to him as you did to Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, who dwelt at Heshbon." And they struck him and his sons and all his people, until no remnant was left to him, and they took possession of his land. Numbers 22. And the children of Israel set out and camped in the desert plains of Moab beyond the Yarden of Jericho. And Balak, son of Tishbor, saw all that Israel had done to the Amorites. And Moab was exceedingly afraid of the people, because they were many. And Moab was in dread because of the people of Israel. And Moab said to the elders of Midian, "Now this company is licking up all that is around us, as an ox licks up the grass of the field." Now Balak, son of Tishbor, was sovereign of the Moabites at the time. And he sent messengers to Balaam, son of Beor, at Pethor, which is near the river in the land of the sons of his people, to call him, saying, "See, a people has come from Mitzrayim. See, they have covered the surface of the land, and are settling next to me. And now please come at once, curse this people for me, for they are too strong for me. It might be that I strike them and drive them out of the land, for I know that he whom you bless is blessed, and he whom you curse is cursed." And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian left, with the fees for divination in their hand, and they came to Balaam and spoke the words of Balak to him. And he said to them, "Spend the night here, and I shall bring back word to you, as Yah speaks to me." So the heads of Moab stayed with Balaam. And Elohim came to Balaam and said, "Who are these men with you?" And Balaam said to Elohim, "Balak, son of Tishbor, sovereign of Moab, has sent to me, saying, 'See, a people has come out of Mitzrayim, and cover the surface of the land. Come now and curse them for me. It might be that I am able to fight against them, and drive them out." And Elohim said to Balaam, "Do not go with them. You do not curse the people, for they are blessed." And Balaam rose in the morning and said to the heads of Balak, "Go back to your land, for Yah has refused to allow me to go with you." And the heads of Moab rose and went to Balak and said, "Balaam refuses to come with us." Then Balak sent heads more numerous and more esteemed than they, and they came to Balaam and said to him, "This is what Balak, son of Tishbor, had said. Do not be withheld from coming to me, please, for I esteem you very greatly, and whatever you say to me, I do. Therefore, please come, curse this people for me." But Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, "Though Balak were to give me his house, filled with silver and gold, I am unable to go beyond the word of Yah, my Elohim, to do less or more. Now, please, you also stay here tonight. Let me find out what more Yah has to say to me. And Elohim came to Balaam at night and said to him, if the men come to call you, rise and go with them. But only the word which I speak to you, that you do. And Balaam rose in the morning and saddled his donkey, and went with the heads of Moab. But the displeasure of Elohim burned because he went, and the messenger of Yah stationed himself in the way as an adversary against him. And he was riding on his donkey, and his 2 servants were with him. And the donkey saw the messenger of Yah standing in the way, with his drawn sword in his hand, and the donkey turned aside out of the way, and went into the field. So Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back onto the way. Then the messenger of Yah stood in a narrow passageway between the vineyards, with a wall on this side and a wall on that side. And when the donkey saw the messenger of Yah, she pushed herself against the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So he struck her again. And the messenger of Yah went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn aside, right or left. And when the donkey saw the messenger of Yah, she laid down under Balaam. So Balaam's displeasure burned, and he struck the donkey with his staff. And Yah opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you have stricken me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, because you have mocked me. I wish there were a sword in my hand, for I would have killed you by now. And the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey on which you have ridden, ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever known to do so to you? And he said, no. Then Yah opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the messenger of Yah standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. And he bowed his head and fell on his face. And the messenger of Yah said to him, why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? See, I have come out to stand against you, because your way is reckless before me. And the donkey saw me, and turned aside from me these 3 times. Had she not turned aside from me, I certainly would have killed you by now, and let her live. And Balaam said to the messenger of Yah, I have sinned, for I did not know you stood in the way against me. And now if evil is in your eyes, let me turn back. And the messenger of Yah said to Balaam, go with these men, but only the word that I speak to you, that you speak. And Balaam went with the heads of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was coming, he went out to meet him at the city of Moab, which is on the border of at the Arnon, which is in the extremity of the border. And Balak said to Balaam, did I not urgently send to you, calling for you? Why did you not come to me? Am I not able to esteem you? And Balaam said to Balak, see, I have come to you. Now am I at all able to say somewhat? The word that Elohim puts in my mouth, that I speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came to Kiriath Hutzotth. And Balak slaughtered cattle and sheep, and he sent some to Balaam and to the heads who were with him. And it came to be in the morning that Balak took Balaam and brought him up to the high places of Baal, and from there he saw the extremity of the camp.